All right, what's up, guys? This is Mitchell or Deity, and today I have kind of caught back up a little bit. So I'm sorry that I did not get day 8 up yesterday. So this is day 8 of the new player guide series. If you are watching this video and you haven't followed along the guide, you will not have the same progress we have had. But this is for the 8th day. This is technically the 9th day, but yesterday was my birthday, so I had to do a lot of stuff, so I fell behind on the guide. So I apologize, but I got to somehow live my normal life while doing this. So let's go ahead and do our daily summon. No spark, another Daydream Joker, that is fine. We'll go ahead and do this summon that we got from Guild. So I'm going to be covering a lot of things today. The first thing is going to be Morale in Lab. So right here we do have 2 ML5 summons we can do. We're going to talk about summons to start this guide out. So those of you that have gotten Tamarin, you're starting to stockpile up on some bookmarks, right? And you're wondering, can I spend them or am I going to fall out of the guide? So you can spend them, but just know I advise making sure you have 600 bookmarks worth of resources before you spend. We are still going to be using quite a bit of our Skystones for refreshes, but if you run out, you'll just have to follow the guide at the pace you have stamina. So day 8 is the checkpoint. You are free to do what you want with your Skystones and bookmarks. But I would save some Skystones so you can keep trying to follow along the guide. I will give stuff that you need to do. If you can't complete it that day because you're out of stamina and don't have the Skystones to refresh or leafs, then you'll have to wait a little bit. So just keep that in mind going forward. Now we're going to go ahead and do 2 Moonlight summons to start this out. I am going to save my resources because I do not want to get a crazy good character and have it not be part of that. Come on, glow, 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 glow. Yeah, wait, yes! All right, this is the best character you can get that's not ML5. This is the best character. If you get Airwell, that is huge. That is so big for getting into early PvP. She's like top 3 RTA characters. She's so good. So if you get the 3-star Airwell from either Covenant summons, you cannot get them off banner summons. Covenant summons or Moonlight summons, be very happy. She is the best. She's probably the best PvP knight. Best specially changed character you can have. She has a specially changed. She's base 3-star. So good that we got that. I'm completely content with that. Alright. See if this sparks or not, if we got another 3-star. This account's pretty cursed, but we might end up getting like, nope. So 3-star Elson, trash. So now that that is done, that's exciting. We got Airwell. If you get her, be very happy you got her. She is a key unit. So if you're going to do your summons at this point in the guide, you will probably have a limited banner up. If you do not have a limited banner up, I wouldn't summon the character that is on banner unless you do some research and find out that they're good. So with that being said, Discord, you're not in the Discord. If you need a guild, our guilds are absolutely wild.
Let me show you my secret.
Before I do that, let me finish talking about summoning, but join the Discord. You can ask questions, but I will show our guild right now, and this is how we have 22 new player guilds, or 25 at this point, that all look like this or are close because they got made a little bit later. But if you have a limited character here, you can summon on it, maybe do some research, see if they're good or not, ask in Discord or watch other videos. I will probably have videos over a lot of these characters going forward. So if you're watching this guide at a later date, but if you're watching it when there's Landy here, she is worth summoning on. You can summon her if you want. The character I would summon if you're watching this right now would be Baiken. In terms of your target rate up, I went ahead and picked Dizzy. I didn't pick Elfelt because you're probably not going to use her. Her artifact's pretty good. But when you're summoning for Baiken, you will need to do 120, and then you will be able to buy her from the Mirage Coin Shop. If you get any other 5-stars along the way, awesome. If you get Baiken before you get to like 60 summons, then I would stop there and spend your Star Mirage coins on the conversion boxes and other resources in there versus trying to summon up to 100 or 120, just as resource management. Because 120 summons or 60 more summons is a lot of 6,000 Skystones value. So the goal is to get Baiken. If you summon on this via Jacko, you can't use her for a very long time. I wouldn't recommend summoning characters you can't use for a long time because by the time you could use them, they're going to come back around. So don't bother. Guilty Gears come back, what, 5-6 times at this point, I feel like. So it'll probably be back around next year. I wouldn't worry about being stressed about getting them. Now, ML Landy, 100% worth summoning on. You can wait till next week if you want, but that's up to you. Next week has Song of Stars, so this is a really good PvE artifact. This has Uberius, which isn't great. So summon on Captain Landy, but from here, you choose. I would personally say make sure to save at least 5k Skystones for trying to follow the guide. I will try to keep the rest of the guide, at least for the PvE portion, building your teams, under 5k Skystones. I will try. but just try to keep around that number and you should be safe and you can spend your resources how you want. So feel free from here. Do your research though. The more research and slower you go at Epic 7 in terms of wasting or spending your resources, the smarter you will spend them. So here, real quick, Discord. We've had 1,500 people join the Discord in a week. The Discord is popping. We have made 20-something guilds, but as you see, we're up to 26 members. I made this right away. If I go to my member list, you can see 21 seconds ago, 7 minutes. This is how all the guilds look right now, and if anyone doesn't log in for 2 days, we kick them and replace them with another active player, meaning that all of the guilds in the Discord server are going to be popping. They're going to have constant buffs up. We have captains and co-captains promoted in every guild to continue to buy these. You see, this is from 1 week, and we already bought the chest. And we have an extra 300 surplus, and we've been buying stamina every day. I'm waiting to start buying this until we get 30 members, and if they're all active. But this is how active our guilds are. If you're playing Epic 7, you're not in a guild like this. We got our weekly mission rewards after 5 days with only 21 players. So with 30 or with a max guild going into next week with 27 players, what we'll probably be at. We're gonna finish this almost immediately. So we're gonna be constantly getting max rewards. Everyone's requesting Wyvern Claws. This is what you should be requesting every single time. Hunt materials of the highest rarity you can do, which is amazing. And also, you should be doing World Boss. Your World Boss rewards are gonna suck at first, but the stamina value is still worth it, and the rewards you can get for this are amazing. So be doing World Boss every single time it pops up. So make sure you put 40 stamina into that every day, no matter what. Next up, we're going to go to our member shop. So today is Sunday for this guide. If you're watching this later, you might be on a different day. It is what it is. I'm going to show you what is worth buying with your currencies because these shops reset weekly and monthly. So the Spirit Balloon resets once a month. This is not high priority to buy, but buying it, you will have the currency to buy it once a month. So it is worth it. It's a free 1/20th of a 6-star. Not a ton of value there. It used to be 1 dog, which was 1/5. I don't know why it's 1 for 1,200. Should be 4, I think. I think they messed this up severely, personally. But maybe it is equal value because you had to promote the 4-star dog you got. So it's probably equal value. Gold transit stones. Do not buy these right away. All of this currency right here, save to buy these artifacts. The order you should buy the artifacts in. Symbol of Unity, Proof of Valor, Warhorn, Bastion of Hope. You need to either buy Proof of Valor first, Symbol of Unity first, whichever one you don't buy the other one second. Buy Warhorn third, Bastion of Hope fourth. And then you will start buying imprints for them. So you'll buy multiple copies to make them stronger. So these are the best artifacts. Guide Decision is okay. Victorious Flag you don't need for anything. It is the worst of all of them, last priority. Now, going down, you're going to want to buy the Mologore every week. And as we get a little bit further, you do have the option to buy the Mystic Medal every once a week for 200. You should, if you are in a guild, you should have way more than these. I didn't do my guild war attacks because I didn't have time. But you should have, every guild war attack that you do, no matter what, you get at least 10, even if you lose. So you should be spending your flags no matter what. Even if you just go in, instantly die, it doesn't matter if you lost. These are new player guilds, and will get stronger as time goes on. So just make sure you're trying to use your attacks if you're in any of the guilds. Next up, these bookmarks, don't bother buying them early on. You need to focus on buying artifacts. This is not great, because you still should focus on artifacts to put you 200 behind, but you can earn quite a bit per day. And with a guild as active as ours are right now, you're fine. Catalyst chests. Buy these every single week. Free 3 catalysts. So these add up a ton over the course of a month. 12 free catalysts a month, and you can get epic catalysts from these. Very good value. These are the most important things in the game. Always buy these. You see them anywhere, buy them, unless they're in Hoochie Shop. So that is a defense one. We will go over that later, but save all these boxes and do not waste them until the crafting portion of our guide. This is honestly worth buying. I did buy it on my 30-day challenge account. I didn't focus on artifacts. I focused on getting gear first. So, and then lastly, buy this every single week. This is huge for new players. It allows you an extra Labyrinth entry, and that is going to transition us to the next part of the guide. Now, you see we have 700 left over from this week, and you want to have as much left over as possible because you will buy artifact charms with your surplus Brave Crest. So the more you stock up on this, the more artifact charms you can buy, and this is the only way to get artifact charms. That's why you want to be requesting Wyvern materials every day. Donate gold every day no matter what. Donate your Proof of Courages. You should have a ton from farming on recorded history. You can only do 3 a day. It's the only use for them. So that is the guild right there, what you should buy every day. Now that that is cleared up, real quick before we go any further into the lab portion, make sure every single day you are going to your Alchemist Steeple and crafting the highest rarity of each one of these. You want to craft your Hellish Essence, your Dark Steels 5 per day, and your Abyss Straight Claws 5 per day with the lower materials you are getting from completing challenges. You want to make this a daily routine until we get to the gear crafting portion of the guide, or until you run out of resources, which the gear crafting guide probably is out tomorrow, to be honest. It's going to be soon. So make sure you're maxing this out each day, because the more crafting materials you have, the more progress you're going to have on your account from us doing crafts. So we'll be able to aim for different pieces. This is where the equipment conversion is. The chest we got, we would do it in here, but don't worry about that yet. Just save up those blue boxes. You will get them from multiple different things. We currently only have 2. They're pretty rare, but this is how you get good right side gear. So now that is done, last things you should make sure to be doing before the end of the week. You should be going in friendship. You should be buying this every day, and you should be buying flags every day. I'm not going to buy this yet, but you should make sure to buy these flags and use them. Next up, Labyrinth shop. You don't have to buy anything from here weekly. This is a day-by-day kind of thing. Conquest point shop. At the beginning of the game, you can buy the Mulagora. I would buy the Mulagora, but that I would not buy energy every day. You want to use your Conquest points for buying early gear to get your gear or account geared up early. So you will get more Conquest points. The thing is, during the first little bit, you earn double from doing arena. So the best time to take advantage of it. I've stocked up 4K. I will be showing what I spend that on pretty soon. If you're curious, I'm going to end up buying all of the speed set. All these pieces are great. It gives you a free speed set. I'll put that on on Clury. In terms of these are PvE sets only. You won't use either of these sets for PvP. So I would not buy those yet. And immunity is the same way. And then this, we are going to end up buying pieces from this and this, because they can be used both in PvP and PvE. Your shoe will be on this counter set. If you have ML Landy, you can try to use it, but shoe is going to be on a lot of your PvE teams, meaning that shoe that you get from beating chapter 3 and do the selective summon 2, your character should be shoe that you pick. If you already have her, pick Senya. But this will be the character or the gear that goes on her, because she will be used in some of our PvE content. So that is going to be going over the Conquest point portion. Lastly, Transmit Stone. Make sure you buy this out every single week. You will get plenty of Transmit Stones. I'll be doing a gold farming guide tomorrow or later tonight. It's going to be just part of a guide, but it's a real quick thing. But it will show you getting Transmit Stones is super, super easy. So make sure you buy this out. In terms of everything else, that is all you need to buy for the week. So now that you've covered all that I just talked about, now we are going to show Labyrinth. This is going to be, after this day is when you start heavy farming Labyrinth. If you're out of tokens, that's fine. You'll buy the one from the guild, and hopefully you have at least one entry for the day. You make sure to clear Tyrell, Castle, and Chaos, and Great Farchia Labyrinth. So next up, we're going to be plowing through Nixie's Sanctum at the highest speed we can, and we are also going to do one run of Royal as this, because this will give us a ring that it's on Unity set, and we're going to put that on one of our Wyvern damage dealers, just probably for the early game, or we might put it on something else, but most likely Wyvern damage dealer, because it has effectiveness. And we're going to craft a little bit with our crafting materials, and probably get a Unity piece that will match it to give us a set that we can put on someone. So that will be, I'll show that on another portion. But Nixie's Sanctum. So Nixie's Sanctum, all these areas take a long time to get through, and we are going to want to maximize how we do that. So now we're going to be going into the next part of the guide. We're going to be looking at the Epic 7 Friendship Calculator on epic7x.com. A link to this will be down in the comments and the description. But if you go to the comments, there will be a pinned comment with a Discord link if you want to join Discord and get into a guild. We're also going to be doing RTA draft mode to teach you guys how to play RTA. There's a draft mode room in there. So once you hit level 60, we're going to be playing a lot of RTA in the Discord and trying to teach you guys how to play RTA. Second, there will be a link to LD Player if you want to play Epic 7 on your PC. The best way to have Epic 7 auto farm on the side so you're not burning your phone all the time. So by having that open while you're doing other stuff on your computer, just have the emulator open on the side, run unrecorded history. If you download LD Player through that link, it helps me out. There are other options, but I just promote LD Player because it's the one that's worked best for me since I started. But if you have trouble with LD Player, there's other options that you can get, other emulators. So in this, you will type the character that you want to use, and then you add it to roster. So we're going to go ahead and type in Destina, because that is another character that we currently have, if I knew how to spell, and we add it to the roster. So I already added these for the beginning of the video. Now we are going to go down, and it will show the highest morale teams that we can make. But the problem is we got to make sure the teams work. So now we have Crozet, Adventure Raz, Mercedes, Destina. Then we have Spectre Tenebria, Adventure Raz, Mercedes, Destina. 32 points. This is the best looking team. We have 2 damage dealers, a tank, and a healer. So 32 morale for this is our best option of what we currently have geared. Now we can add a few other characters that we have basically ready, or so we can do, we'll just put in Falconer Clary. And I'm going to show the Banshee team you should be setting up. So Falconer Clary, let's go ahead and let's put in Lorena. She is very, very good. So let's do Commander Lorena, which is her specialty change. And then let's go ahead and put in, I don't know, we have Terranor Guard. Let's go ahead and put him in just to see. So now we added a few more options. Let's see how it changed. So now we are up to 41 points, but this only has Terranor Guard as a damage dealer. Next up, we have a 40-point morale team with Crozet, Destina, Lorena, Terranor Guard. This gives us 2 damage dealers, a healer, and a tank. So if you have this, but you guys will maybe have some different characters depending on who you put on your front wyvern. That's why I'm giving you this tool to use. So this would be a 40 morale team. This would be the best I can do, meaning that I should start focusing on building Commander Lorena. If you have some other characters in here, in your inventory that you're starting to work on and probably going to try to use, you can put them in here and see how that team will work and then try to get that team geared up. So that is how you use the Epic 7 Lab Calculator. The higher morale point, it also tells you which 2 to do. This is for when you're camping. When you get to a stage and you click the camp button, this is what this is for. So you'll pick Destina Sad Memory and Destina Heroic Cheer, and you will get 40 morale points. The more you have, the more spaces you can move in lab. So that is the lab guide. Super easy. The link will be down with all the other links to the other things. So if you want to use this tool, there you go. If you need it, it will also be in the Discord. So just I'll put it somewhere in the Discord so you guys can grab it from there. So that way you have instant access to it. That is all I've got for that. So now let's talk about our Banshee team. The next things you should be working on. I kind of gave you an update of that yesterday, and what I told you to do is farm as much unrecorded history as possible and push a little bit of story. And I told you a gear set you can get from story. So if you want to look at the progress I made, I farmed 200,000 stigma. So we got a couple 6 stars sitting within stigma, or we have some penguins to sell for gold. So with that, if you're curious on my sanctuary, 313 is the best. Do not put anything into number 2. Number 2 is pointless. It gives you an extra 2 penguins a day or 2 spirit blooms a day. Terrible value. 313 is the best for your Forest of Souls. Next, I'm going to go ahead and show. This is the gear from Chapter 2. It is going to be the Destruction set. This is going to go on a PvE character, probably a Wyvern unit, maybe for Sigret, depending on how everything rolls. So this is an extra gear set to help get another character ready for farming, so you don't have to continually move gear around. So the biggest thing that you need to make sure you're at, though, currently, is you want to make sure you are to the Hunt Challenge Expert and pick Banshee. You should have beaten Golem. The guide for Golem's up there. You might, like I said, just follow that guide. You might struggle on Golem a little bit. Golem is much harder than Banshee. Banshee is very easy. So you're going to want to do clear Banshee 7 or higher 20 times, obtain Cold Look times 10, and acquire Epic Spirit Bloom times 8. Same goals, basically, as before, so you'll trade in this from the AP Exchange. That's why I was saying farm unrecorded history yesterday, because it'll allow you to clear these missions immediately. Now, going out of that, I'm going to show you the team we are going to use for Banshee. You will get Vivian from that. I should have that for this video is at least unlocked Vivian, but you will get Vivian from that. Next up, we will be using Clary, Spectratibia, and Destina for this. So this team will work for beating Hunt 13 for Banshee to unlock all those rewards. We will come back and make Hunt teams in a few days. So those of you that are wanting to start farming Hunts, now is not the time to start farming Hunts because we still have the EXP boost for new heroes. Trust me, you want to still keep farming because you want to have as much stuff for as many 6 stars as possible for right now. Take advantage of that. And then once that goes away, that's when we want to heavy farm our Hunts. So by then we'll have every Hunt team available or set up. We're going to have all of our Expedition teams set up. We're going to have Labyrinth teams set up, and we are going to be good to go. So trust me, keep following the guide. I actually have been streaming on Twitch again and the last few days, and I actually had a Legend player, a longtime viewer from my streams, come in. He said he was complimenting me on my guides, which felt really good, being praised by a high-level player. He's been watching through them, making sure I'm not screwing up, basically. His name's Charmander. But he complimented me on the guides, and I was very happy about that. So that helped me know that I am giving good advice that higher up players are going to agree with. So, but yeah, so Vivian will go on the slot. In terms of your 6 stars, Flurry, you're going to be wanting to work on her specialty change. So you will want to get her to at least 5-star. So make sure she's 5-star. You can 6-star Destina at any point. You also want to skill up your Destina a little bit. So with your Destina skill enhance, you want to do at least her skill 3 onto a 1-turn cooldown. But Destina will be used for PvP, so putting Molagora into her will be fine. I currently have 64 Molagora. We will get a lot more over time. So, but Molagora will become a locked necessity, and that is why I am pushing for you guys not to summon too many characters, because if you have too many characters, you're not going to be able to build them, and you're not going to have the Molagora for them. So build up your core roster first. Use your characters that can be used in PvE and PvP to get into PvP, and then start building your PvP roster, because you don't need to mess with your PvE. That is the goal of this whole series. One thing with this game that I will talk about real quick, this is a gear gacha game more than it is a character gacha game. So you will get these characters. All of you are super worried about getting characters right now. You will get all these characters over time. Characters are easy to get in this game. There is a pity on characters. But gear, you could do 120 crafts for a piece of gear. What it is for pity, you do 120 summons versus 120 crafts. And 120 crafts, you could get nothing usable. There is no guarantee on anything. It is not very good. So you can, in 120 summons, you might get a decent piece of gear, but that would be equivalent to a 4-star hero. Because for every 1 hero you have, you need 6 pieces of gear, and 6 pieces of good gear, which is so much harder to get than summoning 1 character. So your main focus on this game should be using your resources to get gear, and then slowly getting characters as you need them at first, at least. And then you'll transition once you have gear and have your core team set up. Then you can start trying to get every character and go from there. But the game, this is the game that we talked about this on stream yesterday. This game is super rewarding for new players. And it has a very, even though the top players have every character and all kinds of gear, as a newer player, you can compete close to that level by only playing for a shorter period of time and not getting everything. Like just playing smartly, using resources effectively, using the characters it gives you. You can climb PvP pretty well and compete against some of those players that have all those characters. I showed that in the 30-day Masters video. Like I was able to beat players who were picking 4 ML5s and limited characters, and all I had was what I got in a 30-day period. So this game is very accessible to new players. It might not feel like it, but that is because you're overwhelmed and don't know what you're doing. But hopefully this guide has helped you get to a point where you're a little bit more confident so far. But we will go over anything you can think of. We will go over. So if you have anything to suggest me to talk about in a video, anything you want covered, comment it down below. The goal of this was to get your Banshee 13 one-shot team, or not one-shot, your Banshee 13 team set up, let you know what to do with your resources, kind of tell you you're free. You can spend. I just would save as many Sky Stones as you can. For now, you will not regret. The thing is, you will not regret not getting one of these characters because they're going to come back. But you will regret if you use all your resources and you're sitting and not able to play the game every day because you can't farm because you have no stamina. So I will say that right now. You will not regret skipping these characters. Like it won't happen. By the time you regret it, they'll be back in banner and you'll have them. But you might regret summoning them because you'll run out and not be able to do anything. That's all I got for this video. The morale calculator down in the description and in Discord. Join the Discord if you need a guild. I showed how popular guilds are. You don't have to be a new player. You can be a returning player and join the guild. Set up your Banshee team today. That is the most important thing. Set up your Banshee team. Keep farming as far as you can in an adventure. Your adventure team here. I'll show the characters real quick. Your adventure team should look something like this. You should have Adventure, Raz, or Crozet as your front tank. Either one works. Doesn't matter for farming through Chapter 3. Then you should have Tierra. This is my gear on Mercedes. This gear can be put on Tierra. I might switch it because I haven't been pushing story. I've just been clearing stages in Chapter 2. So getting into Chapter 3, I'll go back and put that gear on Tierra. This is what my Spectre Tibria looks like. I'm not showing stats. I'm so sorry. I will go back through. I'm an idiot. So this is Spectre Tibria, your Tierra. I will probably put that speed set back on Tierra, but these stats aren't bad. I might just need to upgrade the gear. So then Tamarin is on a free HP set as well. And then in terms of these characters, we're going to try to be getting our Wyvern team back set up starting tomorrow. So tomorrow I will show myself clearing Banshee and what your team should look like. But for right now, these are the characters you should work on. Get Clury to 5-star. Start her specialty change. So your specialty changes right now should be Hazel and Clury that you're working on. Then next up, you should be getting Vivian to level 50 and Awakened. And then have your Spectre Tibria as juiced as you can get her on your account. So I'll probably take these boots and put them on Spectre Tibria. And I will show the builds and teams and everything for clearing Banshee 13 tomorrow. If you want to go ahead and try it, you can. It's pretty simple to do. You just need a manual and Soulburn Stenny once Falcon or Clury defense breaks the boss. It's easy. Banshee's so much easier than Golem. So that's all I got for this video, though. I hope you guys are getting something out of this. Comment down below anything else you want me to cover. I will be doing probably 2 more videos today covering different things, but this is just to get you knowing what to work on next, basically. And hopefully this will tide you over. 2 things, though. I keep thinking of more stuff. I'm so sorry. Abyss. Be clearing Abyss every day. Once we get a little bit further in Abyss, you should be using your normal story team for clearing Abyss. Try to clear 5 stages a day by trading in 1 leaf. So you should be around stage probably 60 at least right now, 55 to 60. If you are on day 8 or 9, or no, you're on day 9. On day 9, you should be around 60-ish. So just keep doing as many of these as you can per day. Trade in for them. We were going to end up getting stuck on a few of these. If there are any stages that give a little bit of problems, I'll make a guide or put it in part of a guide. So, and I will title the video clearing that, and it'll be a smaller guide that'll cover other things. But I will be covering every Abyss floor up to Abyss 100 for now. So if you are struggling with any of these floors, you got to give me time to get to them. But once I get to them, I'll give you an easy way to beat it all the way up to Abyss 100. Up to Abyss 100 is very easy to do. I beat Abyss 100 in 17 days on the 30-day challenge account. So it'll be a little bit slower because I'm making videos this time. I can't play as hard, but we will clear up to Abyss 100 within at least 20 to 25 days, somewhere in that range. We will full clear this. So you will get all these rewards. This lifesteal set's going to be fantastic for a lot of you that got good characters. So there is that. I think that is it. One more thing I will cover is your arena. It is Sunday. No, on Sundays. You should be trying to push into the next rank into arena on Sunday. So if you're at 2,800 and you're out of things, do a refresh, because at the end of the week, you get Skystone rewards. So do a refresh, get up to 3,000, and then you're good for there. And then next week, we'll push up to 4,000. So hopefully you guys are around Masters. You guys watching this video later might be on a different day, and it might not be Sunday. But just know on the Sunday, that is going to be when everything resets, and whatever rank you're at, you're going to drop ranks. So unless you are at the next rank. So at 3,000, you will not drop below 3,000. If you're at 3,000 at the end of the week, you won't drop below 3,000. If you're at 4,000 at the end of the week, you won't drop below 4,000. So other ones, if you're at 4,620, you're going to drop down to 42 or 4,400. So just know that. But the higher you are, the more Skystones you get every week. So hopefully you're able to reach Masters Day. You should just be using your story clearing team, Raz, use Raz, Mercedes, Tierra, Spectra, Tenebria, and it'll clear anything on auto because you actually knew how to gear your characters versus a lot of these players. Well, these players did, but a lot of the players climbing up to here did not have any guidance and only logged in a couple days and threw stuff on whatever random thing. So that's all I got. I will see you guys in the next video. Give me stuff to cover down below in the comments if you need help on anything. All right. Have a good one. Subscribe.